Hi Virgo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2021 love reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and gap spread. And the way it works is to look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Also, keep in mind it's a general reading, so could be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Seven of Staves. So this is actually a Leo energy here, and usually it represents an energy of being guarded, usually successfully defending yourselves as well. But given that this is 12th house energy for you guys, could just be saying that you might not have trusted this person. So, for example, they might have been coming on a little bit too strong for your liking, and maybe that rubbed you the wrong way for whatever reason. But yeah, it definitely looks like for most of you, it was them who made the advance toward you, and you were guarded toward it. For some of you, it could have been the other way around, but primarily, I feel like they were probably the ones who came toward you. All right, past energy on their side, we have the Five of Wands, also Leo energy, and Knave of Swords, the equivalent of the Page of Swords. So I can see this playing out a couple different ways. For some of you, they might have saw that you were already in a relationship, and then naturally that would explain why you were guarded against their advances, right? But for others of you, it could just be saying that there could have been some intimidation on their part too, especially with that Knave of Swords energy. Usually the Page of Swords energy, there's a little bit of not feeling too comfortable when it comes to communicating, let's just say it that way. So could have just been one of those things where maybe they were a bit intimidated by you, but in the process of that, whatever they were trying to say might have come out the wrong way. So it could have just been one of those things where there were some crossed wires in that regard. Let me see if anything else comes to mind with this. And for some of you, it could just be because they might have seen that you were getting a lot of attention too. So they might have been like, okay, well, Virgo has a lot of suitors, but they might have still tried to come forward to communicate with you anyway. All right, present position on your side, we have the Eight of Arrows. So this is actually Gemini energy here, which for you guys is your 10th house of career and social status. So for some of you, could just be saying that you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed in your careers right now and might not really have much energy to put into other areas of your life due to that. But for others of you, this could just be saying that there's a bit of a fear around communicating either way, possibly toward this person. Maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed as far as if they're still communicating with you quite often, you might be, just feeling at a loss for words as far as speaking to this person. It could just represent a lot of anxiety as well. And present energy on their side, we have the Nine of Chalices. So this is Pisces energy here, and it definitely looks like they have a bit more confidence in expressing themselves in the present anyway. And they might be a lot more open with their feelings in the process. Now, whether that's what causes this anxiety in you or not, I'm not sure, but that's what I'm seeing there. It looks like they're definitely a lot more confident coming forward, communicating what's on their minds at this time. All right, and future energy on your side, we have the Seven of Cups. So this is Scorpio energy here, and usually represents an energy of confusion. Keep in mind for you guys also, your third house communication is Scorpio, and there's going to be a lot of energy in there. Going to have Mars in there all month. The sun's going to be there for the first few weeks. There's going to be a new moon there, obviously. Also, we're going to have Mercury in there. So, interestingly enough, we're coming out of a Mercury retrograde, and when it's in Scorpio, it's going to be pretty much clear of its shadow by then. But for whatever reason, it looks like you guys might feel like communication's a little foggy for you. Maybe you just have too much on your plate right now, so you're not really able to focus. Could just be someone from your past is just heavily on your mind, and that could just be taking away your focus from other areas of life too. And again, like I was saying, for some of you, this could just be a situation where you have a lot of options too. So maybe that's still what's taking place here. You just have a lot of options, a lot of people vying for your attention, and you just might have your focus elsewhere. All right, future energy on their side, we have the Hierophant, Taurus energy, and the Emperor, Aries energy. So with these two cards here, I feel like this is saying that I feel like this is going to represent them pulling back their energy some. Now I feel like, with that Nine of Chalices energy, they're going to feel like, okay, I expressed myself. So for example, let's say in the past, they made some kind of an attempt to tell you how they felt, but they might have botched it. Like I said, maybe they were feeling a bit intimidated and the words didn't come out right or whatever the case may be. In the present, it looks like there's a second attempt where they're more confident in themselves, but the results don't seem to change much, right? It doesn't seem like there's much reciprocation on your part. So in the future, it could just be saying that they might pull back their energy with the feeling that, you know what, I made an effort, I let them know how I felt. At this point, the ball's in their court. And with that Emperor energy, we could see that a little bit too, right? Because we do think of the Emperor energy as a go-getter in one regard, but here we do see his back is turned, and it doesn't really look like he's taking action. So that's primarily what I'm picking up on there. For some of you, this could also point to the Taurus full moon that we're going to have, which is going to be an eclipse toward the end of Scorpio season. So timeline-wise, that could be what that's pointing to. All right. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Five of Cups. So again, we see the third house communication popping up for you guys, and looks like there's just regrets there, right? About what was said, what wasn't said, everything in between. Looks like there's some confusion, and interestingly enough, beneath that, we actually have the Six of Cups too. So could just be saying for some of you, eventually you will come forward and actually communicate with this person. It doesn't really look like that's going to be the case this month, from what I'm seeing anyway. It looks like you just have something else going on, whether it's direct aversion to disconnection or just so many other things on your plate right now that you can't even address this situation for the time being. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have the King of Wands. So, we have quite a bit of Leo energy in this spread, and this is also Leo energy. So for some of you, you could just be dealing with Leo. And again, like I said, when people have placements in your 12th house, which for you guys is Leo energy, sometimes there could be that hesitancy to trust them. You might feel like even if they're totally on the up and up, you might not perceive it that way sometimes. So there could be a bit of hesitancy to open up to the person. So that could be what some of you are experiencing with this connection. But yeah, either way, it looks like they are expressing some loyalty, at least from what I'm seeing, and a desire to get closer to you. But like I said, it looks like they might just feel like one of those things where in the past, okay, maybe they reflect and say, yeah, you know what I wanted to say didn't come out the right way. I'll make another attempt. They make the other attempt. It seems like you're still off in your own world, and then they might just pull back at that point. But the desire might still be there. All right, so we'll see if we get anything from the Oracle cards next. So first we'll pull from the Aqua Moonlight deck. I did pre-shuffle this deck before we started recording, and I'm going to be looking for jumpers as far as unspoken messages from you to them and from them to you. But also, if I shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, we'll actually just put the deck down and pull a card. So, let's see what we get. Oh, got one, but it fell. All right, and next we'll see if we get any from their side, and then I'll pick up your card. Oh, and theirs fell too, so perfect. Only one trip to make. Let me go get those. All right. So, on your side, we have my inability to pick up the card. There we go. We have Karma. It says, my life is falling apart and I'm struggling. Well, I did say it seemed like you guys had this whole other thing going on in your minds, and for some of you, I thought maybe it was directly related to this connection, but looking at this message here, could just be saying that you have a lot of other heavy things going on in your lives at this time, which naturally would make sense if you did not feel like you were in the mood for love relationships, if that's what you're going through. So, on the one hand, I was going to say hopefully that resonates with you, but that sounds like rough energy, so hopefully it doesn't in that regard. But if you are, hopefully that at least validates that. And on their side, we have planning. It says, I know that I want you in my future. I'm working on making the proper plans. So interesting message there, because I will say that seems like what this energy almost feels like, where they feel, it almost feels like they do gather themselves a little bit better than they might have been in the past and come forward to you and express to you what they're feeling. Like I said, it looks like you're still not open to it. Obviously, if this is how you're truly feeling, understandable, right? So for some of you, that could be what the withdrawal is in the future, right? Where maybe they go back to regroup again and figure out, okay, what can I do? I'm not 100% sure on that, but ideally, I guess that would be the case, right? If they're just a bit more patient with you. But there might need to be some communication at some point. And maybe that's what all of this third house energy is showing for you guys, that you're like, do I tell them what's going on? Do I not tell them, right? So there could be a bit of a push-pull dynamic in your mind there. But hopefully those resonate with you. Lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And I also pre-shuffled this deck too. Here we're just looking for one card with general advice to wrap up with, though. Alright, so nothing's coming up, so what I'll do is we'll just put the deck down, give me a few seconds to tune in, we'll just pull a card. Okay. We have Serendipity. There's the artwork, and the number is 18. Alright, it says opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. The Oracle's message: you've stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and a collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is being supported at this time. Expect the unexpected, and smile, for Spirit loves you so very much. So, not even directly related to this relationship message in general, but for those of you who do feel like you are going through a rough time with the karma thing, hopefully that resonates with you in that regard, as far as some energies might clear up in a positive way there. The relationship message says Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you in front of the right person at the right time. You have met or are about to meet someone vitally important to your journey, someone Spirit wants to bring into your life. Only divine forces can plan this meeting. It is out of your hands. Pay attention to the signs Spirit presents. So, definitely an interesting message there, too. Obviously, for some of you, this could be that person. For others of you, this really just is not the right time for you. Could just be saying that down the line someone else might come along. But like I said, especially if you guys are going through a rough stretch, hopefully that gave you some guidance in that regard. But we'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.